tell me about the rape? And was it before he asked you out or before you guys met?
I got kidnapped and raped March 2014. I told him about not just the rape, everything that my life had become after. You know, I was like, listen, in order to help myself, I started sleeping with guys. And I've done this, I've had an abortion, I've done this, I've that. I told him everything just so that he would say, wow, this is a bit much.
I was just going with the situation, if that makes sense. I had no yardstick to navigate. I had no yardstick to, how can I be there? I just know that this happened to her and I want to be with her.
For me, it was just like, he was a really good person. I just wanted to be his friend.
Oh, friends, don't by your idea. The reason why I am the way I am and I will continue to be, I have a son and I have daughters. One of the pickups for the girls is, this is how a man should take care of a woman. For the boys, this is what you are seeing. This is the starting point for you. Let me put this out there. Loving Ini is not easy.
Really?
Go give me my flowers.
Parent to the sacrifice. To be a parent to a neurodivergent kid is an even greater sacrifice.
Two things before you guys got the actual diagnosis. What were the things that you noticed that made you realize that these kids are gifted? That's one. And two, your summer school 26-22, by the way, which is teaching these kids on how to be present, how to how to navigate these gifts that they have during the summer. I want you to touch on how you notice for parents, because for instance, I'm not one who is diagnosed, but I know, well, all my friends say that you need to go check yourself. But I realized that I had to start to learn about myself, how music actually heals me. And I know this is like a generic thing, but it's not just any type of music. And for the first time in the past 1 year, I will stay by myself for 4 to 5 hours straight, just listening to instrumentals, and that would bring my sensitivity, because I can be very hypersensitive. No one caught that. I had to learn in the past year that I was actually a very sensitive child, but no one caught it, no one knew about it, and then I had to now begin to navigate and learn. And for some reasons, it wasn't even that I learned it somewhere. It was this calling parents to be slow and still, to notice what is happening. I realized that when I started to be slower and steady and calmer in my mind, I could feel the different parts of my body and how they were moving. My spirit was teaching me how to heal. My spirit was teaching me how, whenever I have certain anxiety in my heart, it tell me scream. Scream, not loudly, but just and then I would literally feel like the toxins in my body come out of the breath of my scream.
Wow.
I could just lay down watching the clouds for hours, listening to music, and I literally would feel ease within me after I've been going through certain things that was angering me. And it's a lifelong thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but now I have the tools to be able to still myself. I have the tools to be able to calm myself to order. And I want you to talk about, as a parent, how parents can notice these things, because now the reason I can notice it with myself is because I'm grown. I have the mental notes, I have the cognizance to be able to catch it. And I had to catch it when I was in a place of stillness. Not a lot of people know how to be in a place of stillness. So how can parents catch it?
Oh boy, that's a really good question. I could just tell you how we did it.
Yes, that's good enough.
When we had our first son, I keep saying first son as if he's not the only son that we had. When we had our son, we noticed already, I think because we're also creative, we're able to pick out some things, but it was obvious. Our son was 1 and some months. No, before he was 1, our son his tantrums would ease with Yanni. You know Yanni. Yanni is a musician.
Yanni
He's an instrumentalist. Like he's a how many?
He's
a piano
He's
player.
a piano player, yeah, with his beautiful
Orchestra
classic
and
music.
Yes, his music is just different. But he would pay attention to it and just like, okay, now there are children who pay attention to different kinds of music. But we were also very intentional about creating the kind of atmosphere in our home that we wanted to be in. We weren't even thinking about our kids, to be honest. We just, and then also when we got pregnant, we started thinking about, oh, this would be good for them, and also we're just intentional about creating the kind of atmosphere we wanted them to be in. We wanted to be in and what we would want them to be in. And so we were also intentional about creating a haven, like for our home to be a haven.
Your home is a heaven.
We were very intentional about that because maybe because of the experiences we've both been through and things that we've had. And this is not to say that people haven't had experiences. Again, I'm just talking about how we did it. Home is very important for us. Wow. It's very it's a huge thing for us. And so let it be, the vision is that you're out there, you're going about the hustle and bustle of life, encountering different people. Let it be that once you step home, there's peace. And so since we were able to create an environment and an atmosphere that, included peace and calm, automatically we are able to be observant. Automatically we have the presence of mind to look at you, like really look at you, look at your eyes, look at your hair, and also I think that Femi and I were already people like that. This is not even to toot our own horns, but we were. I can notice Femi's ears and marks that were not there before. I can notice his nails and and stuff like that. And Femi was always picking stuff from my nose. I have no idea why. He's always picking stuff. But yeah, so we became observant of him, and every other child followed. And so and also just having a close walk with God, to be honest, to be very sincere, because it's one thing to create an atmosphere in your home. If God is not in it, there's always something missing. So we're creating the atmosphere, and just in case you're wondering what the atmosphere is, just God, just cultivating and nurturing God there. It's just worship there, and worship is way more than the music. It's just the atmosphere of peace, atmosphere of honor, atmosphere of worship, and all of that, and then also just having constant conversations with God. I see something, I take it back to God. God, did you see this? I don't understand this, because to be honest, you can't do parenting without God. You can't. Like, what do you know about raising another human being? Like, a whole human being? Come on. Especially after the birth, you see that the birth was beyond your control. Oh my goodness. Have you met birth pangs? Birth God? Have you met labor? You realize that, even if you could control it before, it's beyond you. Have you met CS operations? You can control to the point where you sign off. After a while, it's beyond you or your husband. You know that it's God that takes it up from there. And so after the child comes, it makes so much sense to keep leaning on God and keep saying, okay, you took it from here, so I'm not in the mood to take it back. So literally just depending on God every step of the way, seeing things and asking God about. To be honest, God taught us about our children way before science did. So many
so
things.
We knew even before the diagnosis.
Yes, so even before when the diagnosis came, there's some things it confirmed, some things just like, it's okay, you can call it whatever you want, but we know. We already know. So God would teach us about our kids. And that's the reason why we were documenting. There's some things that we didn't even understand, but we would see. or God would bring to our attention, and we would just write it down, not knowing what it was, not understanding what it was, but just noting it, and then saying, okay, so how can we enhance this further? For instance, when our son was younger, like when I say, well, even before he was 2, the movie Frozen was out already, and so he loved to watch it, still does. And he could already sing the songs. And the thing is that it's not the songs he was singing, it was the instrumentals from the song. Do you know how wild that is for a child who's less than 2?
The thing that it will pick out of the instruments are like sounds that are probably supposed to be in the back of your ear.
And he was less than 2. So noting that, okay, we already know that your brain is different. Another thing that we noticed was, yeah, I missed those days. So there was this thing that Tim Lane used to do. He did everything in pattern form. We noticed that one, he was very circular in motion. And so if he was having a tantrum or a bad moment, he needed a circular environment to be able to calm down. He needed to either walk around in circles. He would find something and just keep circling it until he was calm. Or if if we were in a place or in public and I knew he couldn't find the circular, and when he enters a room, he must circle it because he needs to find the circular balance for him to be able to settle into that room. And so if we're in a place where I noticed that he couldn't find it, once we enter into a place, my eyes are on him. And you're saying hi to me, I'm saying hi to you, but my eyes are on my son. And if I see that he can't find, I just need him to find it, and you can't do it for him. The truth is that even if you want to do it for him, the truth is that you can't.
You can't.
It's not an insult, but it's almost as if you say, "Mommy, just
keep
do
calm."
You're not in my level of understanding.
You really aren't. And so I would, take his hand and let him understand that I'm standing here. And so he would circle me. And then he would, like, at least he's done that, he must do the go around. And so I was saying that, so that was one pattern. And so even when he would scribble, everything would be in circles. When he would move his hands, it would be in circular motions. And he always held things in 2s. And so if you're going to give him anything to eat, you must give him in 2s. Give him a biscuit, give him 2 at a time. If you don't even give him, he would take the second one. Give him an apple. Let's say he doesn't have to eat the second apple, but he has to hold the second apple in his hand. And so when he's eating or he's playing, he would make a design. He'll put things in before it just seemed like as if if he was eating rice, he just scatter. You just be wondering, you think he's scattering them, or he just be watching something, be eating maybe his puffs or his biscuits, and he picked from here, Everything was always very intentional with him. The minute you tried to arrange it for him,
you have
disrupted, and it would be a serious meltdown. The meltdown would be intense. And we could never understand it until one day, the school he was in before, the lady said to us that, don't you see that he's doing it in a pattern? And so we were watching him in school. She said if we had time, we should come to observe him at school. So they had this colored rice where they would do pouring and everything. And he took some rice and poured it out on a tray. And then he was trying to put it back. And he was picking from it. And Femi rushed to help him. And oh my goodness, the teacher was about to say, no, don't help him. But it was too late. He lost it. Then after a while, he went back there and began to try to clean up by himself. But he would pick the rice one by one. Pick it one by one from here, from here, from here. And it's because his brain has automatically seen a pattern and he has to follow it. So seeing things like that, when our daughter came, we realized that she was like that as well. Third daughter like that as well. So he eventually evolved from patterns into more complicated patterns. So for him, it's the pattern of music, the waves of the, how things are put together. Timile, just like as if he's a producer, can sit down and navigate the instrumentals of the music, navigate the chords of a song, navigate, like Timile ad-libs, and he doesn't ad-lib. Sometimes he ad-libs in harmony. Like he doesn't, and he would do the most complex harmonies. He'd listen to the song and you think he's not listening. He probably could be on his tablet or do something else. And he's currently teaching himself how to draw and design. And you think that he's busy just, working on what he's working on. And he just go, let's say we're singing a song now. What song could we be singing? Jojo. No, not that one. A song that has harmony. And he just go off on one key. And I promise you, it's always on track. It's always on point. Like he never goes off. In fact, if you go off, he just look at you.
The boy is a genius, man.
He look at you like, can you please stop that? Like, you know, Tim Nine currently he scores, he watches animations, they're cartoons or whatever, and it's not just the movies, but even the series. You know how children have cartoons that are in series. He watches it because he's listening to the underlying instrumental. So when he's listening, dun, 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 he's scoring the music, teaching himself how to draw. And then Tawa is a patterns and puzzles child. We could all be here talking, and in the blink of an eye, she's in a corner. She's going to find a corner. She's putting a puzzle together, building something, always designing something. Her own is she sees the world. That's how she sees the world, and so she constantly has to find that. When we walk into a room, if she were here, she'd be drawn to this pillow.
Yeah.
If she couldn't find the pillow, she'd find something, your shirt. When she walks in here, the first thing she should tell you, your shirt is, there are lines, it's nice. It's not because she's complimenting you, but it's also giving her a sense of balance, because this is the way her brain works, and she has to find it so that she can function in a new environment. And even if it's a familiar environment, she goes for the patterns, goes for, you know, when she's talking to you and she's nervous, you know, she finds whatever around has a pattern, and then she focuses on that and keeps talking to you and drawing out the patterns and stuff. If you want to get her to tell you anything, just give her something with a pattern. If she can formulate a letter, she will begin her sentence and then begin to tell you stuff, you know, things like that. Our last daughter, we're still trying to figure out so much, but she's leaning towards music and all of that. But we also notice a lot of symptoms that Timley has, she also has. But these are some of the things that we're able to notice, and it's really because I'm not going to tell you that after a while let me just say that after a while, especially when life comes and you have more children, it's harder to maintain the peace and the calm, because all your children are at different points where they're developing and hitting different milestones. But again, it's always an invitation to slow down. And so we have to constantly, because it's just like showing up. You have to constantly remind ourselves, we need to slow down. What's going on with him now? We've never seen this before. This is new. So let's research about it. Let's read about it. Let's observe him. This is new. Where did it stem from? We're always asking ourselves these questions. You can't ask them because they don't know.
Can't even communicate.
Exactly. The truth is that sometimes they do know. Sometimes these children teach us about themselves. Sometimes they just stop eating some things. They're trying to, can you just eat it? Can you eat it, please? But by the time we always fall back on, okay, let's read about this thing. We see that it's something that's not good for them at this particular time, and they just naturally wean themselves off it. Sometimes my daughter will outright tell you, no, mommy, I don't want this. It's not good for me. You wonder why, but then that's how you know that it's the Spirit of God in these children is literally at work, you know, and God constantly bringing things our way. And, you know, when your mind is open to knowing and observing these children, your mind will attract the things that you need for them. And so I would say that this is how we did it. We're always reminding ourselves to slow down, because sometimes we do get busy. Sometimes we do miss it. We do miss it, like we miss the mark is far. But then just the reminder that we need to come back. That's why I say it's a constant invitation to slow down, to watch them again, observe them again, get to know them again, because they're people to be known, to be discovered, that they are wonders. And so you have to constantly look at them from that point of view. That's the reason why I say it's not burdensome. If you look at it as, this is a wonder to be discovered, it would always be like parenting them is like an adventure. It's a new adventure. You get frustrated, relax, take a bath, take a nap, get up and go again. You know, you'd always see something new, and it helps that there are two of us. So, yeah.
So what one thing one person catches and the other person doesn't see, like you can
call the attention.
In fact,
it's also a reminder for us to lock in with each other, because at some point you'd find that it could get frustrating. But sharing that, locking in with each other, and then locking in with God, I really believe that that's the reason why God put two parents to be at the helm of it. So yeah.
You're gonna say something funny.
Yeah, I was saying that some things that I don't catch, she catches it. Like some and some things that I see, I observe. I'm like, oh, okay, he's doing this. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've seen it too. Oh, okay, so it's not just me. Also, we now see a lot of ourselves in them. So the reason why they are the way they are, obviously, is because of the way we are. There's nothing wrong with them.
Part.
But 100% her, 100% me.
100% them.
100% them.
Yes.
Do you understand? So you now start seeing like, oh, okay, I used to give like this two at a point, blah blah. You see, and that actually even helps navigate how to help them. Yeah.
Because they're still our kids.
Yeah. Honestly, I remember how we met.
Please remind me. Because I feel like I've just known you all my life.
I remember I'd seen your wedding on social media. The Layer Love Lane. I remember. And I remember saying to myself, because prior to that time, I've never been this is what my wedding would look like. And then I saw your wedding, I'm like, that's it.
Wow.
That's honestly that was it. I'm like, this is exactly what. And I know I was in my mid-20s at the time, or late 20s. So and I'm like, I've never thought about wedding. I've never thought about something like that. But I'm like, if it happens, it happens. But then the minute I saw your wedding, because your wedding was very small in a garden. And then I'm like, that's exactly what my wedding would look like. And that just called you to me so deeply. And then I went to your page. I'm like, oh, she's an artist. No way. And I think maybe like a year or 2 years later, you guys did a call to for night vigil in your house.
Yeah,
I'm like, who are these ones? You don't know people.
It's so weird though. Looking at it, honestly.
I'm like, you just said people should come to your house for night vigil, not even in the afternoon, in the middle of the night. And from that time till now, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that has given me a shred of doubt as to the beautiful souls that you both have.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It's the you know what you want, it's the vulnerability, it's your presence in your lives individually and together, even with your children. And I say all this to say that kudos to you guys. Kudos to you guys, because you're so present in your children's lives that you catch the mundane things that most people don't. Presence is such a powerful thing. And you guys do it so effortlessly. When you said to me, like, you have to give him things in two, or when he gets to a room and he has to settle around, I think about the fact that most parents will stop their children, like, behave yourself. Most of our parents will say, you have to eat what I have. And I can understand why, but I'm like, but you're not noticing what this child is calling out to you as to the laws of who they are. Everyone has their individual, at the core of me, this is who I am. For instance, I was bullied as a child for sleeping a lot. I was like, I was called the Yoruba name for sloth. Sleeping is my superpower.
Love it.
Superpower. I wake up with ideas. I wake up with solutions. I wake up hearing my spirit saying things to me, whispering to me. And I'm not a sleep for a long time. I'm a sporadic sleeper. I can sleep for a long time. Actually, I am a very sleep for a long time person. But the thing is, I'm having to grow and parent myself and see myself as a child to say, Tucker, why are you doing this? What's with this? Why are you having to do this? A lot of parents don't catch that. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Honestly, guys, you don't know. Children are not able to balance themselves, not able to catch themselves, and they grow to be these adults where they don't even know where to begin, because these children are very smart. They know what they want, they just cannot articulate it at that age. So, and then they're bullied, they're stopped from doing the things that can heal them by their own self. And then they grow up not even knowing how to. And I say this because I have that experience where for a very long time I didn't know how to balance myself. I was always constantly in activities. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for being present enough. What are you doing, Femi? Thank you for being present enough to catch these things, not in one child, but in 3 children. And I also understand that, the parents think that the most important thing to give to a child is money. or the resources to grow, to eat, for feeding. I get that, but I'm just like, the intangibles are the most important things.
Overall about making memories, and also not taking life too seriously. All about like being children with them.
Yes.
Like, I'm your parent. Don't get it twisted. I will. It's your your duty, is your prerogative in life to push the boundaries. It's still my responsibility to draw the line.
Yeah.
But when that time comes, when we get to that bridge, we'll get there. In the meantime, I will play with you as much, because the truth is that right now, that's what their lives are about. Playing, laughing. I feel like my children right now should know, like right now in this season of their lives, it's just laughter from morning to night. Like, let's just be laughing, let's be playing, we cry in
love to
between,
giggle
we
and
struggle
cry.
in between, we complain in between, but then we must laugh, we must make memories. I'm all about creating experiences for my kids. Any small thing, I brought plenty pillows down plus duvets. I've on mood lights. You must feel like you are cozy, like just like, sometimes my children do this thing where they just go.
Also,
They just
when,
do
when,
like-
when they go to these days, when they go to their room, they just fly on the bed and cover
They just
themselves
do
up.
that thing. They just, they just do that. It makes me
Excitement
so
over
happy
there.
because I'm just like, I know how I'm like, I know that feeling when I hop into my bed, freshly laid bed after a long day, after I've showered. I know that feeling.
I have it too.
The fact that you have this feeling constantly, like I'm giving you that feeling, I'm happy for you. Like
I'm fulfilled in life.
I'm fulfilled in life. We're all about that. Like any small thing, we've created one small experience, Any small thing, I brought out balloons for no reason, whether it's birthday, whether it's not birthday. Sometimes you just leave balloons around the house. My daughter says, "Mommy, today is my special day." I say, every day is a special day. Every day. If I had my way, we throw confetti every day. When we wake up in the morning, it's morning. Let's throw it. Because we also want to teach our children that every day is a gift. And the truth is that you shouldn't chase things or people to give you memories. You learn how to create them, because you are the memory, and that's the truth. Like, you are the memory, you are the gift. Like I say, I tell my children all the time, and Femi tells them as well, you are a gift to the world. And everything we need to do to remind you of that, we will. The other thing is that we want them to understand that home will always be peace. Home will always be safe, and home will always, like we used to say, that we want our children to have so much love, like we want so much love poured into them that they'll just be oozing, it'll be gushing out of them. And for that to happen, it means that we have to get to a point where our minds are in that state. It's not fake. It's not something we're not just saying. We're not pretending that this is it. It has to be the real deal. And so for it to be the real deal, it means that we also have to work on ourselves constantly, heal constantly,
Heal constantly. Thank
yeah.
you. I want to talk about Femi's most recent album. Yep. My favorite is Timile.
Very good.
I love Timile so much.
Yeah.
But I also wanted you to talk about that. But I want you to first of all run me through the motivation for it.
Okay.
I want you to tell me about One Bedroom.
Okay.
I want you to tell me about I Be Man.
Okay.
Because when I heard the album, I remember I was on a bus. I was going to somewhere in Berkshire in Reading in the UK, and I purposely left because I knew I was going to have a very long day. So like, nah.
It's not time.
Hold on. I want to be able to wear my, because I know I was going to have a bus ride that day, very long bus ride. So I calmed myself down to say, I want to take time to listen, enjoy, and experience what it is. Because I'm the kind of person that I am, especially when it comes to music, words. I was telling you about how I'm crazy about raps, a whole lot more these days. And I'm like, I hear beyond what is being said.
Yeah.
I hear a lot beyond what is being said. Tell me about that.
So, Timmy's song, that's actually what it's called, because there's already a Timmy Lane that's an instrumental. There's already a tower that is also an instrumental. I have to do it to Bilaba. I have to do it to Bilaba. Timmy's song actually started the album. And it happened, so I think a month after I was born, I went to America to do a couple of shows, and
A month after?
It was a month after Tim Lane was born. Now, after Tim Lane
The
was
day Tim Lane was born, that was when you got the tune of that song. The day I went into labor. Not the day he was born, the day before. I was in labor and Femi was just humming this tune throughout the day. Throughout the day, he came upstairs. He would be praying and then I remember him coming to the bathroom and saying, "Babe, I just got a song for Tim Lane. I just got a song for Tim Lane."
That's true.
I can never forget.
That's true. But then the chords was, I was with some friends in New Jersey in their house, so I picked up the guitar and I started playing. But as I started singing, I had the lyrics to it, and I had a Timila, and I came back to Nigeria and I realized that this song is going to take a while to finish because it's not the kind of song that you just quickly write and like. So I had to experience Timila. Also, first time parents, never done it before. So to watch him, everything, all the milestones, started crawling, started standing, started walking, trying
and
to...
then just experience with his brain.
As in just his mind. And we finished the song when he was 5. So it took 5 years to finish that song. And I realized that, I wasn't going to finish it by myself. I had the ingredients, so I called in 2 guys, Demore and Remy, and we sat down in was Airbnb and the next phase 1. And everybody was there. Indy was there. We were pregnant with Toby. Tawa was there. Tim 2 was there. And that was when we finished the verses. And that was actually what started the album. Because at that point, the album now had a direction. I realized that, everything that is happening right now is what his album going to be. And we were still in it. We had not even gone to Nairobi. 22. So we went to Nairobi. Everything in Nairobi happened and everything. And it kind of like just inspired the album. I Be Man too, likewise. Even the piano of I Be Man were like a Sarit more where I was trying to work out the I Be Man part. We already wrote the song. Me and my co-writer were just talking and I was just complaining like, baby is coming, there's no money, we're in a new country, everything is just upside down. About they write everything that they talk about. And just presented it to me like, this is the song. And so that was how I Be Man came about. One Bedroom was definitely just 2022 and the entire shenanigans surrounding it, from when we're in the house and selling everything and then trying to live with people in their house and just the experience of that, so that was how we were able to write One Bedroom. It's a very special record because it's supposed to be very depressing, but I was very, very musically from instrumental standpoint, I wanted to like feel very happy. Because you're saying for 4 bedrooms to 1 bedroom, it's almost like a grass to grass story, So, and nobody really wants that, but sometimes things like this happen, and
sometimes
they're necessary. Sometimes even to just show how much God loves you. I know that it sounds counterintuitive because you have that you don't have anymore. Like how does that show that God loves you? But actually it does, and it humbles you, a lot,
You lost over I Be Man.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
So I'm trying to help your interview because he glossed over I Be Man. And I Be Man was really
No, I'm going to come back and ask you.
So I Be Man was One Bedroom obviously goes into like I Be Man because the experience, the uncertainty, the mental stress, the anxiety, it was a bad time for me. It's so funny, I was depressed before all this thing happened and I just came out of that and then this stuff happened. And so it would have been easy to just go back into where you're coming from. But like I just had to face it head on, and I Be Man was just me being very vulnerable. I've never really written my records have always been rainbows and chocolate and all these beautiful things in life, happiness, joy, ayo, just very, very not surface topics, but nothing as deep as like, this is what you're going through and all that. And I remember when I released I Be Man and my dad heard it kind of like sparked the conversation and some of the things he also has gone through as a man. And we had the conversation in my house about it. I'm like, my dad has never been this vulnerable with anybody in his life. And for the first time, we were able to have that conversation. So he actually opened up a kind of warmth with a lot of people and still does till this day. And I feel like it's an everlasting record where men can pinpoint you that this is our song. And you can see that you are seen. You know, you're not just in it alone. And I wanted it to be that almost like an anthem where brothers can come together and like, okay, I have your back, you have my back, and it's a shared experience. So the entire album just there's like almost like that connecting factor, like all the songs, because when you're coming from heavy stuff like I Be Man into One Bedroom, then you have songs like Timmy's song, and then you have Flower for the Girls, and then you have Home, you know, that I wrote about Ini. And what actually inspired that was just at that point, just 6 years in marriage and the ups and downs and everything, I realized that I wake up every day and I still choose this person. So, and also because we've been homeless for so long, I realized that home is where she is. It's not a building, it's not a house, because we were just up and down. Do you understand? I realized that she tries as much as possible to make everywhere we are a home. But more than just the physical, this is the heart. My heart towards her and hers towards me. Because if you want to see whether you have healthy children or messed up children, look at the marriage. Do you understand? So that was what I was thinking about when we were writing the song. I was just thinking about every time we get to hug, you know, every time I get to look into her eyes, like, this is just home, you know. So I wrote that, and then there's Dance With Me. So the album is kind of like just very interwoven, almost like a timestamp of what our life is. And someone told me that, the album might not like give you like streams or all these other things like that, but believe me, your children will come back to this album and they will thank you. Your family will come back. The entire, like, and this is what it's about at the end of the day, like them. So I'm happy I created the album. I'm happy the album came out the way it did, and we were able to push it out. Artistically, you know, I realized that my music is like, people don't catch up until like 5 years after. So I don't beat myself up about, you know, because you can sit down and just start comparing, like, I don't have this amount of monthly listeners, or people are not listening to my songs, blah, blah. But I realized that, like Shisha, for example, it's 10 years. Yeah, Shisha was made in 2015 and released in 2015. And people are just warming up to it. Like, it's crazy. Like, 10 years after, people are just, to a lot of people, it's just a new song. Do you understand? So I've realized that about what I create, that is for, like, when I'm 50 and I look back into my catalog and things I've created, I'm going to be wowed, and I'll be happy with what I've created, because I did not move by what the industry is, but I was making art, just like the conversation we were having about Kendrick the other time. Like, you make art because you wanted to make it. And I feel like people will catch up to the genius of the music when they want to catch up to it. I don't have to beg them to. You just experience the music and you're like, this is what I want to mess with. And also, I have this thing where I heard from John Mayer back in the day, and it was like, it was putting his music with pop music. Like, pop music is like a weekly magazine. It comes and goes. There's something hot next week. But then National Geographic from 1960 will be hot in 2050. You will still want to go back and that was, you know, and that's the kind of art that I create. So I'm grateful that I've been put in that sphere. It might not be like that, but like, if I'm happy with what I create, and as long as I'm happy and I'm happy to perform it, and when people listen to it, even if it's just a few, there's something that it does to them. You know, there was someone that sent me a message, and the husband and wife, they were dancing to Ayo. And I'm like, this is so cool. Like, after how many years, you know? So yeah.
I love that you have come to a resolve in your heart to know that your music is what they call it, timeless, because it's quite sad that the world can be very surface.
Yeah.
And until there is pain and grief and certain sad or bad circumstances before people really come into their hearts.
Yeah.
And these are the songs that you sit with. You see? So your song heals.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that until there is chaos or
That's when they
people's
come.
life, people come into connection with it.
It's okay. We'll always be here.
I love it so much. I love it so much. But I was gonna ask that how do you then balance making music from your heart, from your experience? And I know what you mean because I used to struggle a lot with writing. I write a lot. And I never used to write all the time. I would write maybe once a month or something. And I had to come to the realization that I'm a better writer when I'm writing about my experiences.
Yeah.
So it would have to be that something I have experienced.
You have to have something to say.
Because when I now write, even me, I'm like,
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
do you see? So how do you balance that with meeting needs, knowing that this thing is your core and the thing you love to do the most, and you also know that I need to make money. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I need to provide.
Yeah.
How do you balance the both of them?
Well, as for personal music, I have realized that because there's a lot of side to me. And it's so funny, we were just having a conversation about that. Ini was telling me about making something that she heard this morning, and like, we should make something like this. So there are instances where
I love it. We should make something. Co-producer, co-writer.
I realized that it's not every time the music will be deep. There will be projects for that. Like there will be projects. Let's say a lot of music is like that, but sometimes, you want to, like a song like Biendu, you just want to have fun and stuff like that. So I create that, but also I collaborate a lot with people on their own songs. Someone just reached out to me last night from Canada and wants to feature me on the song, and the person wanted what I did on. It's so funny that you're saying this. Wanted something that I did on Shishe, the way I did the chorus on Shishe, the chant, like they want me to do on this song, something like that. So that part of me is actually what a lot of people want. So for the most part, I just try to be as authentic as possible. Yes, we need to pay the bills. Yes, we need to do so. Obviously, you try to do other things. Production, recording for people, performance. And sometimes performance is in like different sphere. Sometimes I'm on stage performing my songs, and sometimes I'm on stage not performing my songs. So there are different needs and wants that people want. So I don't close myself up for, this is the only thing I do. I can I'm a chameleon. I can change depending on what is needed at the time, because you realize that this is what people want to hear. And I'm also an instrumentalist, so sometimes I go for shows and I don't even sing at all, and I just play other people's songs, but it sounds like me. That's why they call Femi. Like, there's you know that. Do you understand? So it's not like just his music, but I can also morph and do different other things. So and that's actually one of the reasons why people call me. And also, it's so funny. Just a couple of days ago, I did a song for Ira Star that a producer sent to me, and I recorded. So things like that, I do. Pay bills, you record, you do different things, make music for different people also, not just myself. I make music for movies, for TV series. So, but in a nutshell, there are different sides of me that can actually create music, not just. So when I want to do my project, I can, in a decent mind, think that I want to make money off of it, but that is not the intent. Do you understand? Because it comes in the way of the art where you are thinking of money. Because if I'm thinking of money, the first thing I want to do is what is popping on radio, top 10 song, create something in that, less trending. I want to make that Indomie noodles music and put it there. But for me, if I do all these other things, at least it's footing part of the bill. Then when it comes to my actual art, I can do it. And you realize that your actual art will actually make you money if you look at it in retrospect. So yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So when's our next album coming out?
Oh.
Wow.
So I can give you a date. This year is no, like a year. Okay, this is 2025, Abby. Okay, let's say probably ending of 2026 into beginning of 2077. Okay. Is the reason why is that the time frame, because it's not as far as the last album. The last album cycle was like 5 years in between. The reason this year I just want to collaborate. I just told myself I just want to make different records with different people. By the time I start writing the next album already has a sound. he has a sound. Yes, I like there's a vibe that I'm going for. I'm creating a concoction of like putting different influences together, and I'm creating something very new. And it will take a lot of time to marinate, which is why I'm saying probably 2027 album.
That's fine.
And at that point, obviously, I will have grown more as a person, as a father, as a husband, as just a musician. And I feel like I give myself time. I give myself time to be a different person. Like for example, now I'm trying different things. I bought a Stratocaster, which is like a different kind of guitar. So I'm doing that. I'm taking in different vibes and different kinds of music. So I'm putting that together. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
So, as a classic familiar way, and fine, we'll wait. We'll wait because we know what is to come. So, you just became the director of the Global South Arts and Health Lagos Pavilion.
Yes.
My director, man.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
Wow, it's phenomenal, to be honest. It is an opportunity that found me prepared, because it's not like I've been prepping for this for a long time and I had no idea I was. And so, everything that I do with arts, with therapy, with health, wellness, and I do so many things with that, or with those. Everything now just put together and just creating experiences, creating atmospheres from my kids at home to people at large. Everything now just is like it just wrapped up in one ball and was handed to me and said, okay, let's put a title on this for you. You've been doing this unrecognized for years, so here you go. It's just incredible, it's really incredible. Shout out to the founder of the Global South Arts and Health Pavilion in general, Dr. Kule Adewale. He's such an amazing, phenomenal man. Also the founder of the Arts and Medicine Fellowship. He just, he is also always looking out for people who are in this sect and just doing things this way. And to be honest, I'm honored that he would even, appoint me to be the director of the Global South Arts and Health Lagos Pavilion. And I'm just looking forward to the pavilion. The pavilion is it's like a festival, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm the festival director, so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be this year, sometime in August, so just stay tuned for the dates.
Stay tuned for the dates.
I'm looking forward to everything that we're going to do, how minds are going to be transformed, how we're going to pull together the intertwining nature of arts and health, how we're going to put that center stage, and how the life that it's going to take on even after the pavilion, it's we're creating a new life of its own, where we're pulling together every single thing, every bit of the different mental health and health challenges that we can find, and just using art to heal people, using art to transform the minds, even if it's just for a little bit, even if it's just for a day or a few hours, to change and transform minds basically along the way. So yeah, that's
awesome. I want you to be able to run me through, for anyone who's going to come to the festival, what they will be experiencing. What are like the thematic areas to touch on?
Oh, so good. Okay, so we are first of all coming for the pavilion, the festival. It's going to be, let's say, 70% an immersive experience. We're touching on different thematic areas like neurodivergence and different things that have to do with neurodivergence. We're also focusing on parents of neurodivergent children, because we see that you cannot help neurodivergent children without helping and aiding and equipping the parents. We're also going to be looking at PCOS, looking at maternal health, looking at mental health for men. We're looking at grief. We're looking at anxiety and separation. We're looking at mental health for the aged, the elderly people in our society. Other thematic areas would be looking at drug abuse, the drug abuse pandemic that we have rising in Lagos, or has risen in Lagos. We're also looking at thematic areas like, I'm trying to remember now. I think I mentioned maternal health already.
Yeah, maternal health.
Yes, and much more. So, but these are some of the thematic areas that we're going to be focusing on during the pavilion. So it's gonna be amazing.
I know that we have discussed it, and then you had helped me understand that for all of these thematic areas, which is the mental health for men, which is grief, which is maternal health, which is mental health for the aging, it is going to be something like when people can come in and experience an immersive thing,
Yes.
where they can go through those feelings and it can bring forth healing to them.
Yes.
I
Yes.
just wanted to make sure we're still on par.
We're
So
still on par. Yes.
we're doing this in August,
In
and
August.
then for me, I just feel like if people are healed, the world becomes a better place.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah.
And it's always beautiful that, and I like when you say the opportunity came to you and you've been prepared for it, because you've dealt with a lot of immersive experience and helped people heal
Yes.
with your art room therapy.
Yes.
You have a sex class. Tell me about your sex class.
Oh yeah. I'm a sex therapist, so teaching
sex-
different people how they heal sexually, and also just teaching them about sex and what it's originally designed to be. Yeah.
And then I know you have a man cave event as well.
Yep.
Yes,
Tell me about
that focuses on the mental health for men, and basically teaching men how to pass down legacy of what examples and good templates of men are meant to be
I know that's
for the
you,
next
both of you do
generation.
that.
Yeah.
The both of us. Yes.
I want to talk to you continuously, but I feel like with these few words of yours.
I hope I'm not able to confuse you, but convince you.
But honestly, I just feel like you guys are constantly doing such an amazing job with yourselves,
Thank you.
with your kids, with your family, and then to the world. And I think that's literally what a union or partnership truly signifies. And well done.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well done. And I think lastly would be, what would you like to say to yourselves regarding your love journey?
Wow. Well, to Femi, I would say that I know that I'm not the easiest person to live with, but I know that you love me to death. And you can't throw me away, to be honest. But I want to say to you that for the past 7 years, I've seen you, and I still see you. And you are one of the most phenomenal people that I've been blessed to do life with. Like, being your wife is actually an honor. It really is. I get front row seats to how you're developing and how you're growing, and I want you to know that the times when I do nag you, it's really because I love you. And I've also discovered that even though I say you're like an annoying person to live with, but I realized that you're not really annoying. It's mostly our children that make me annoyed with you. So I'll blame them. Because I find that like now they're not here. Like I'm just like, this man is fine. You're so handsome and everything. I'm kidding. I'm playing, babe. But really, I see you, babe. I see you. I see your effort. I see your hard work. I see your intentionality, and I mean it when I say that you're amazing. It's not just cliche. It really is. You're an amazing human being, not just a husband and father. You're an amazing human being. Thank you.
See what I said about being able to express yourself with words.
I know.
How can I do this?
Just say what you want.
Ditto.
Don't be rude. Ditto. Stop
Okay,
it.
let's throw this.
Wow. Okay. So I think I don't look at it from like the perspective of just 7 years. It's actually been since 2013. And one of the things that I know for a fact is that I never thought back then that it was possible to love you more now that I did then. I guess, also growing, sometimes when you grow with someone, you feel like you see them finish. But in my own word, I'm seeing every part of you and every part of you that is growing, that is evolving, and I'm loving a new person as we're going. So when I say I love you more today than I did yesterday, is because I'm loving the person that is growing. And just to see you grow and just to see you become this amazing woman is a testament to just your core and your person. And I love you so, so, so much. Like, I'm the best. Look at me. Look at me now. Look at me now. First of all, it makes me look amazing that I have a wife that is just this great. You know, thank you. Thank you. I love you very
Love
much.
you, babe.
Please, see me in my chambers.
Actually,
See me in my chambers.
I'm really done.
Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
We did it.
So, please subscribe to wherever we are putting this. Please subscribe. Will help our life, help our destiny.
Is there gonna be a link? Is there gonna be a link on the screen?
Yeah.
Please, when you see the link, please hit subscribe.
Subscribe, man. Subscribe, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you
guys
so
have
much.
fun.
Thank you so much. Please listen and send the link to all your friends.
Share with the world.
Not just
We're like 8
episode,
billion in the world. We want 8
single-
billion views.
Every single episode you see, once you just see the name Temi Tope Saliu,
Just put it there. Out there.
listen. Don't even just
Watch.
put it on repeat. Don't even think about it.
Are you listening to me?
Oh my God. You guys have fun.